The people quietly winning in business right now, the founders closing deals faster, the parents who seem to have it all together, the creators pumping out content every week without burning out. They are not working harder than you. They found a shortcut, and it lives inside ChatGPT. I've spent 3 years building multiple companies with AI as my co-pilot, and I can tell you flat out, 95% of users have never touched these moves. In this video, I'll show you 20 powerful ChatGPT hacks that feel like cheating, and by the time this is over, you'll never prompt the same way again. Here's what nobody tells you. ChatGPT's default answers are built for the average person asking the average question. The moment you stop being average with your prompts, the output completely changes. These 20 hacks are the exact moves that separate the people getting 10x results from the people who gave up and said, AI doesn't work for me. Number 1, the role injection hack. What it is, you assign ChatGPT a specific expert identity before every single question. Why it matters. A blank ChatGPT answers like a generalist. A role-injected ChatGPT answers like a specialist, and the difference is enormous. How to do it? Before your real question, type exactly this. Act as a seasoned role with 20 years of experience in specific field. You are direct, no fluff, and you speak like you're advising a close friend who needs real answers, not safe ones. Then ask your question. Try it once with a business decision, a parenting challenge, anything, and you'll feel the shift immediately. The answer gets sharper, more direct, more useful. Number 2, the constraint crusher. What it is. You force ChatGPT to work inside tight boundaries so the output is immediately usable. Why it matters. Open prompts produce bloated, padded answers you'll never actually use. Constraints create precision. How to do it. Add this line to any prompt you already use. Keep your answer under 150 words, bullet points only, no preamble, no filler, no closing summary. Lead with the single most important point. This alone cuts your editing time by half. The output goes from a wall of text to something you can act on in 30 seconds. Number 3, the devil's advocate flip. What it is, you make ChatGPT actively argue against your idea to find every blind spot before it costs you. Why it matters. ChatGPT is trained to be agreeable. That's dangerous when you need honest feedback on a big decision. How to do it. After describing your plan, type, "Now destroy this idea, be brutal and specific. List every reason this could fail, every assumption I'm making that might be wrong, and exactly what a skeptical investor or experienced critic would say." I did this with a major business restructure last year. ChatGPT handed me 6 objections. My team raised 5 of them 3 weeks later. I was ready for every single one. Number 4, the Socratic learning loop. What it is. Instead of asking for answers, you ask ChatGPT to teach you through questions, one at a time. Why it matters. Copy-pasting information doesn't make you smarter. Being questioned does. How to do it. Type, "Teach me, topic," using the Socratic method. Ask me one question at a time. Wait for my answer. Correct me when I'm wrong. Do not give me the full answer up front. Let me arrive at it. Use this for anything you actually need to retain. Negotiation, investing, parenting strategies, sales. The difference between reading about something and being questioned about it is the difference between knowing and understanding. Number 5, the tone transformer. What it is. You paste any written message, email, text, Slack, and have ChatGPT rewrite it with a specific emotional register. Why it matters. What you say is maybe 30% of the result. How it lands is the other 70%. How to do it. Paste your draft and type, "Rewrite this so it sounds firm but warm, apologetic but confident, urgent without being panicked." Keep every key fact. Cut anything that sounds defensive or passive-aggressive, under 100 words. I have someone on my team whose drafts used to read like they were written by a prosecutor. Built them a custom GPT just for this. Their client relationships changed within 2 weeks. Number 6, the SOP builder. What it is. You paste raw notes or a messy voice transcript of you doing a task, and ChatGPT turns it into a clean, repeatable playbook. Why it matters. If it only lives in your head, it can never be delegated, and you'll do it forever. How to do it. Paste your transcript or notes and type, turn this into a one-page standard operating procedure. Include overview, step-by-step instructions, common pitfalls, and a final checklist. Plain English. Assume the reader has never done this before and needs zero hand-holding from me. Your next hire can follow it day one. That's the goal. Number 7, the negotiation sparring partner. What it is. ChatGPT role plays the other party in a negotiation so you can practice before the real conversation. Why it matters. Confidence in a negotiation is just preparation wearing a different name. How to do it. Type. Act as a landlord, potential investor, client, hiring manager who is skeptical and price conscious. I'm going to practice negotiating, specific deal or rate, with you. Push back hard. Use every realistic objection. After 5 exchanges, tell me where I was weak and where I held my ground. Run this 3 times before any important negotiation. You'll go in a completely different person. Number 8, the hidden assumption audit. What it is. ChatGPT surfaces every invisible assumption built into your plan before those assumptions blow up. Why it matters. Most failed ideas weren't bad ideas. They were built on assumptions that were never tested. How to do it. Describe your plan, then type, list every assumption I am implicitly making in this plan. Rate each one low, medium, or high risk if it turns out to be wrong. Sort by risk level, highest first. Be specific. Don't give me philosophical answers. Number 9, the contract decoder. What it is. You paste a legal document or contract and have ChatGPT translate it into plain English and flag the risky parts. Why it matters. Legal language is written to protect the person who wrote it, not you. How to do it. Paste the contract text and type, rewrite this in plain English. Highlight any clause that is unusually risky or one-sided for me as the buyer, employee, signer. List the top 3 questions I should ask a lawyer or the other party before I sign anything. This won't replace a lawyer, but it will make you the most prepared person in the room before you ever get to one. Number 10, the 80-20 learning map. What it is. ChatGPT identifies the 20% of a subject that gives you 80% of the practical results and builds you a sequenced learning path. Why it matters. Most people spend months learning things in the wrong order, then quit before anything clicks. How to do it. Type, I want to learn topic for practical real-world use, not academic mastery. Identify the 20% of concepts and skills that will unlock 80% of my results. Skip theory that doesn't directly lead to action. Give me the exact order to learn them and why. Number 11, the ghost mentor. What it is. ChatGPT simulates the decision-making framework of a specific successful person and applies it to your exact situation. Why it matters. The most valuable mentors are rarely available. This makes them available 24/7. How to do it. Type, based on everything publicly known about person's name, how would they approach this specific decision? Describe your situation. Give me their likely framework, what they would prioritize, what they would immediately cut, and one question they would ask me that I haven't asked myself yet. If this is already reshaping how you think about ChatGPT, hit the like button and subscribe. There's a lot more where this came from. 12. The story mining method. What it is. ChatGPT interviews you about your own life, then restructures your raw answers into content that actually connects with people. Why it matters. You have more powerful stories than you realize. They're just buried under the noise of your daily life. How to do it. Type, ask me 10 questions designed to uncover my most powerful personal stories, lessons, and turning points. One question at a time. After I answer all 10, reformat everything I shared into a point story lesson content framework. Make it feel human, not like AI wrote it. 13. The risk table generator. What it is. You describe a decision, and ChatGPT builds a structured risk analysis table before you commit. Why it matters. Optimism is a feature. Blind optimism is a bug that costs real money. How to do it. Describe your decision, then type, list every way this could go wrong. For each risk, rate the likelihood from 1 to 5, rate the potential impact from 1 to 5, and give me one specific mitigation action. Format all of this as a clean table. Print it. Look at it before you sign. This 5-minute exercise has saved me from at least 2 expensive mistakes I can point to directly. Number 14. The 30, 60, 90-day builder. What it is. ChatGPT takes your goal and builds a specific week-by-week action roadmap with milestones you can actually measure. Why it matters. Most people have vision. Almost nobody has a sequenced plan. The plan is the actual difference. How to do it. Type, my goal is your specific goal. Build me a 30, 60, 90-day roadmap. For each phase, list the specific weekly actions, what I should be measuring, and what a clear win looks like at the end of that phase. Be concrete, no vague advice. Number 15, the jargon translator. What it is. ChatGPT explains anything complex using a targeted analogy built for your specific audience. Why it matters. The person who explains things simply is always the most trusted person in the room. How to do it. Type, explain complex topic using a simple analogy that would immediately make sense to a busy parent, first-time founder, someone with no background in this. No jargon, one paragraph. Then give me a one-sentence version I could say at a dinner party. I used this to explain equity dilution to my dad. ChatGPT compared it to cutting a pizza into more slices. More slices, each one is smaller. He got it in under 10 seconds. 20 years of explaining that badly, solved in one prompt. Number 16, the future self letter. What it is. ChatGPT writes letters from your future self to your present self, timed to when you'll need them most. Why it matters. Motivation spikes and crashes. A letter from your future self is a pre-built perspective for when it crashes. How to do it. Type, based on my goals and fears below, write 3 letters from my future self. One at 30 days, one at 90 days, one at 1 year from now. Each letter should anticipate how I might be feeling, acknowledge the real struggle of that moment, and remind me exactly why I started. Goals. List them. Fears. List them. Save them. Set calendar reminders. Read them when you're ready to quit. Number 17. The meeting asset converter. What it is. You paste a meeting transcript and ChatGPT converts it into a clean summary with decisions, action items, and follow-up questions. Ready to send. Why it matters. Meetings without documented output are just conversations. Documented output is the only thing that moves a team forward. How to do it. Paste your transcript and type, extract 3 things, every decision made, every action item with a clear owner and deadline, and every unresolved question that still needs an answer. Format as a summary I can send to the team in under 200 words. No filler. Number 18. The price defense trainer. What it is. ChatGPT role-plays a resistant, price-sensitive client so you can practice defending your rates without blinking. Why it matters. You don't lose clients on price. You lose them when you flinch on price, and they feel it. How to do it. Type, act as a potential client who thinks my rate is too high. I charge your rate for your service. Push back using every common objection. I'll respond in real time. After 5 back and forth exchanges, tell me specifically where I was weak, where I hesitated, and where I held my ground well. Run this until defending your price feels boring. That's when you know you're ready. Number 19. The second brain activation. What it is. You upload everything about your life or business into a ChatGPT project folder and use it as your personal strategist who actually knows your situation. Why it matters. Generic AI gives generic answers. AI loaded with your context gives answers that fit your actual life. How to do it. Open a ChatGPT project. Upload your goals document, a one-page financial snapshot, anything relevant to decisions you make regularly. Then type, given everything you know about my situation, what is the one thing I should be prioritizing this month that I'm probably not doing? Be direct. Do not just validate what I'm already doing. I have a project folder for every company I run, one for personal finances, one for real estate. My AI knows my life. The answers it gives reflect that. 20. The eulogy mirror. What it is, ChatGPT writes your eulogy based on your values and goals, then tells you whether your current daily life is actually aligned with it. Why it matters. Knowing how you want to be remembered is the fastest way to get clear on what matters right now. How to do it. Type, write my eulogy from 4 perspectives: what my family would say, what my close friends would say, what my colleagues would say, and what my community would say. Base it on these values and goals. List them. Then tell me honestly, based on how most people live versus these values, am I likely on track or off track? Don't be gentle. The first time I ran this, I sat with the output for close to an hour. It didn't feel like a chatbot wrote it. It felt like a conversation I needed to have with myself and kept putting off. That's 20. 20 moves that most ChatGPT users will never find on their own. Here's what I want you to do right now, and I mean right now before you open another tab. Scroll back through this video in your head. One of those 20 hit different. You know which one. Go to the comments and type just the number and the name. That's it. That one comment is you holding yourself accountable. And I read them. If this video gave you something real, hit subscribe because the next one goes even deeper. I'm going to show you how to build a full AI system that runs your entire week on autopilot. You don't want to be the last one to see that.